Well, good morning, everybody. Corey Crane with Warren again. I wanted to talk to you today about Nissan10. So we've been talking about the Passover and the Feast of the Lord and kind of leading up to it. And so we've come to that next significant shift, or that point, which happened on Nissan10. And so I want to go back. I'm going to read from Exodus chapter 12, starting at verse 3, where we picked off last time. And it says, "Speak to all the congregation of Israel, saying, on the 10th of this month, every man shall take for himself a lamb, according to the house of his father, a lamb for a household. And if the household is too small for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next to his house take it according to the number of the persons. According to each man's need, you shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You may take it from the sheep or from the goats. Now you shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month." And so this is where we see the institution of the bringing in of the Passover lamb. Now, what corresponds to this? Well, in the days of the week that Christ went to the cross, this would have been a Saturday, right? So Nissan10 would have been a Saturday. Now, if you remember, the days change at 6 p.m. So he would have been in Bethany on the Mount of Olives and obeying the Sabbath and taking rest that entire day. And then at 6 p.m. that night, it changes to Nissan10, from Nissan9 to Nissan10, right? So that night, Nissan10, he went to Simon's house, right? And this is where you have the account of Mary washing his feet with her tears and drying them with her hair in the alabaster flask. I mean, just a powerful scene within the scriptures, right? And so the next morning he wakes up, remember, still Nissan10 because it shifted at the evening. And that morning he makes his way off the Mount of Olives into Jerusalem, which we refer to as Palm Sunday. This was the triumphant entry as Jesus came in riding the colt of a donkey, and everybody laying down palm branches and singing Hosanna, which means save us, right? And so Jesus is entering into Jerusalem. And now if you go back and you remember on Nissan 1, we talked about him being the sacrificial lamb. And according to the Feast of the Lord, they're commanded to take in the lamb into the house on the 10th day. And so we see Jesus, the Lamb of God, the sacrificial Lamb of God, being taken into the house of Jerusalem, right, on the 10th day as he comes in for Palm Sunday. Now, later on that day is when he cleansed the temple. He went through with the cord braided into a whip and drove the money changers out. And so we see this preparation coming for the next thing. And so I'll talk to you again in a few days. We're coming up on Passover, which is Nissan 14. So we'll talk about what happens on Nissan 13 and what happens on Nissan 14 as we head into our own Seder celebration this coming April 22nd. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.